Alright, hello everybody. This is Andrew and welcome back to some more skate progression. This is the video for March 14th, 2024. And we are in a new location today, as you can see, despite still on the crappy phone camera with the lowest angle shot of just directly my feet, as you'll ever see. But, yeah, I think today there must have been some people on the tennis court or something, but I had to come over to this random parking lot, which is certainly not ideal. As you can see, it's pretty rough asphalt in this parking lot. There's one parking lot that was also full today that I usually skate in nowadays. Oh, that one was actually pretty good. Look at that. As you can see, we're still working on trying to do some non-moving frontside 180s today, and I seem to be pretty excited about that one.
Already?
Was that it already? Could have been. But as I've come to learn, especially nowadays, I mean, the non-moving kind of is, well, I mean, just getting it once is, you know, kind of maybe good, just so you know you can do it, but then just start doing it moving, because, like, after that, after, like, knowing that you can maybe land it, after that, who really cares about the non-moving? That's how I feel nowadays, I guess. But back then, I wasn't comfortable enough to just jump to that, but yeah, definitely improved the consistency of these as I went along, but this is actually, I believe, let me check my files really quick, just to make sure I'm not speaking a lie. Oh no, I do have one more video of with my phone on the 21st, but then after that we'll be moving on to the GoPro footage that I'll be using. But yeah, I'm getting these to come around a decent amount of the time. So yeah, we will be soon moving into a different version or a different arc of these videos where I do a lot more talking in the moment and maybe won't have as much of this overlay commentary potentially, although I do still have sessions obviously where I just set up the better camera and record myself, but I also have things where I say things that preface the session and afterwards to give more context of what I was thinking or doing at the time. Yeah, just grinding these frontside 180s. It's I'm still bending my knees kind of weird, I believe, but I'm not sure. Again, this was about 4 months ago at this point, so, and I still do that tail position and then step down for every single attempt, which is kind of funny. Yeah, good to see that as this is something I'm revisiting now to try and learn for real while moving and everything, that maybe I'll be able to do it, since I can seemingly kind of consistently do it. Or I mean, at least I can get the board around, even back then during this time. But yeah, hope you guys are all having a fantastic day out there. Anybody who's tuning in, and of course if you are interested in following the journey along as I continue my skate progression, I would appreciate a subscription to be notified of whenever I upload. You can go ahead and drop me a like down below if you're enjoying. And as always, leave me any feedback in those comments. I do appreciate any thoughts you might have on how I can improve things, although I know I do continually reiterate, I'm not really looking to spend a whole lot of time editing these videos or doing things like that. And yeah, maybe we'll see how I get to do the recording as I move along with the real camera. At that point, it would be better, because obviously I know I would ideally be Probably recording my whole body so you can see. I mean, a lot of the front side 180 and spinning in general is in the shoulders. You gotta lead the spin with your shoulders and then follow it around, ideally. And you can't really see my shoulders in these shots, but that is, again, mostly due to the fact that I'm recording on my phone, which I do not have a stand for. So it's, at the moment, I remember this day, was sitting on the ground, propped up by my backpack. So, not exactly ideal recording conditions, but we make do with what we have here. Something I've been struggling with a little bit recently with skating that I've talked about in some of the videos that I've recorded for July that we will get to eventually on this channel. Once we reach the triple digits in episode number, I think, is when we'll be in July. It's kind of crazy to think about. But again, I'm going to try and pick up the pace on uploading these. And I think it would be nice to have a goal for this channel, alongside my goal of kickflipping a 3-stair by the end of the year. Maybe I'd like to be caught up to present day by the end of the year as well. That could be ideal. Although I'm not sure if I'll be able to get a video out every single day. I'll have a video recorded for every day, and then maybe I'll have to, there'll be a day, like a weekend, where I'll go and put them all together and upload maybe multiple for like that week or whatever, once I reach a more current timeline. But anyway, one thing I've been kind of, I don't know if you'd want us to call it struggling with, or that's just been maybe causing me to progress in certain areas slower, and I end the session here, but I continue with another.
I think I'd call that one a first make. Like, it wasn't clean, but it wasn't sketch.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The one near the beginning of the session there.
But now we do it clean, and then do it moving.
Yeah, and then do it moving, as if that's an afterthought, even though that should be the main goal, honestly. But there's just the fact that there's so much in skateboarding that I want to learn. Like, I have these are kind of like the basic things you think of when you're first wanting to learn skateboarding and learn tricks, or like doing ollies, spin, and flip tricks on flat ground, and maybe downstairs or over stuff. That's kind of like maybe the typical thing people think of, but then before too long I start going to skate parks, and I do really enjoy, and I have been enjoying learning how to skate transition, bowls and ramps and stuff. That's something I've been enjoying as well, and obviously those are, while it all contributes to being more comfortable on the board and being able to do different things, they are certainly quite separate in terms of, the skills that they develop, I guess. And then I'm kind of a beginner in both aspects, and as such it takes me maybe progress slower overall than I would have if I focused on one of those disciplines. But at the same time, I'd like to be well-rounded and learn everything, because it's all fun. And that's just the joy and the beauty of skating. But the thing about it is that each of them requires a lot of time commitment, which I'm willing to put in, but I only have so much time to actually put in. I've got to work and normal, stuff to do in life, where, it's going to take time to get those skating skills up. But I am committed to the task at hand. Looking forward to getting better as I do. And then even additionally, there's potential for learning some freestyle type tricks. I do dabble with that a little bit in the future, although not too much. But those are also good for balance and board control, and are of course fun as well to learn. So those are kind of, I would think, the three main ones, but then you could also kind of say, like, doing like massive hill bombs and stuff like that could be maybe considered a fourth thing you can try and focus on learning. But I kind of do that passively as I skate back and forth to locations. And what am I? Oh, that was weird. And yeah, that's, I don't know, that's just something I've been thinking about recently. Like, I don't know how other people or other beginners maybe especially approach it, but currently for me, I'm kind of just trying to go for everything, you know, on a certain day, depending on my availability and timing. I'll either go, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'll either go do some street stuff like this at the parking lot, or although I haven't done it yet on the skate progression series here, I'll be going maybe to the skate park and doing stuff like that. I think right there what I was trying to do was test it out without actually doing the trick, and wow, look at that.
That was
Seems like it.
very close.
That was
Both
very
feet on the
close.
bolts. I just was a little off balance.
Yeah, I wish that was something I had paid more attention to right there, because I've found in the days since that one thing that helps me kind of a lot for learning new tricks and just learning in general on the skateboard is doing things and kind of learning the foot motion a little bit without the board and then applying that on the board. For me, that's a lot easier than trying it on the board and then adjusting to do it properly. I don't know if that's a common way people learn things, but yeah, especially recently for me, that's been really useful as a tool for learning. There you go. Look at that. We're doing all right on the front side
That was pretty
180s
clean.
stationary.
There's like a little ditch here that I hit.
Although again, as I mentioned in the last video, I'm not quite landing these ideally. Like in the ideal, you know, form, or however you want to call it, the ideal, whatever, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but there's a word there. The ideal execution, as my phone falls over. I think I noticed that pretty quickly here.
What the hell?
The ideal execution of a frontside 180 results in your board being leveled out as you're turned 90 degrees. So as your board is 90 degrees sideways, and then you finish the rotation as your board is, I guess, as you're coming down, I guess. I don't know. All I know is that I think is the idea. Is like you want your board to level out and be, as you're turning it, leveling it out, and have it be at that 90 degree when you're leveled. And then you kind of come down and mostly you want to land, if you're not landing all four wheels at the exact same time, you definitely want your front wheels landing first. And by front, I mean your front wheels initially. So they rotate to the back. And those are the wheels you want to land first. That's my understanding. Ooh, look at that. There you go. Pretty much a clean one, and I wanted to review that, I guess. But we do have a little bit left, and man, my wheels were already pretty beat up at this point. The pavement around my house was actually pretty rough, so riding it, getting it back into and from the park kind of dings up my wheels a decent amount. That's something I talk about later, I think. But we are coming up on the end of this one, so pretty decent progress in this video. I got 2 or 3 that were, in my opinion, fairly decent lands of the frontside 180. Stationary, of course, but yeah, we'll see what we can do in the next video. The next one is actually for March 21st, so a whole week later, so we'll see how the progress moves then. But it's a slow process learning. I mean, getting a first make and then perfecting a trick is a wide gap for sure, as far as I'm concerned, especially for ollies and things like this. But that's going to be it for this one. Again, leave any comments you have and feedback in that comment section down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe to follow my journey as I continue learning. And if you have any questions, then feel free to ask them. I'm always open to answering them to the best of my ability. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time for some more skate progression.